So I was half my age when the first Incredibles movie came out, and this was my reaction when I watched it.
That was totally wicked!
Now I've technically doubled since the first movie came out, but has the sequel? Is it twice as good as the first one? Is it even up to par? Is it worth the wait? Hold on and we'll find out. Before I get started, has anyone else noticed that The Incredibles are pretty much a copy of the Fantastic Four? Not that I'm complaining. I mean, they both have a super strong, nigh indestructible guy. They also have a super stretchy team member. But the biggest kicker is they both also have an invisible girl who also has force fields. I mean, really? The only thing they're missing at this point is the Human Torch. Oh wait, they have that too. Now the animation in this movie is beautiful. It really pushes the limits of what the medium can do. Now I know a lot of people say that animation isn't really a viable format, and those people really annoy me because animation allows for such unbridled imagination and creativity. There's no limit to what you can do, and this movie really proves that. The action is incredible, there's so much finesse in the details, and everything just looks amazing. Now there are some cool new characters in this sequel. My favorite would have to be Void. And she's a new superhero who has this really amazing power. Now I don't know who among you has played Portal before, but she's her own walking portal gun and they do some really incredible things with her powers. Now there are some recurring characters from the first movie, like Samuel L. Jackson's Frozone, who's really cool. And then there's of course Edna, the fan favorite. Did you know that she was voiced by Brad Bird, the director? He's a really good director. He also directed The Iron Giant and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol and Ratatouille, so I guess we can also add voice acting to his list of talents. Now there was a lot of speculation before the sequel came out about how much time had passed between the two movies. A lot of people thought it had maybe been 14 years and that the characters had aged and that Jack-Jack had become like a teenager or something. Let me just say I'm really glad that's not the case because Jack-Jack is so cute. I mean, like, oh my god, he's so cute. I can't even put it into words properly. Now speaking of Jack-Jack, he seems to have like 17 powers and counting, and they seem to pop out of nowhere at any time at any place, with no rhyme or reason. So I guess you could say he's a Jack-Jack in the box, and a Jack-Jack of all trades. Now the first Incredibles movie had a lot of meaning behind it, and it touched on some important and mature things that I didn't really expect from a kids movie. And I guess that's because it's not really a kids movie at all. I really think people should stop looking at animated films that way because it really closes them off to a lot of amazing experiences. Now the second movie doesn't touch on as many important issues, but it does touch on one in particular, and that is how hard it can be to raise a family, even for superheroes. Or should I say especially for superheroes. Now I don't know how many of you can relate to that, but I know I got some appreciation for it, so I'd just like to say thanks to my parents because I know I was something of a troublemaker and a handful growing up, so yeah. And now we get to the not so great part of the movie, which is the villain. Now the best villains are the ones that you can at least partially identify with, that you can at least kind of understand the logic behind their motivations. For example, there was Thanos in Infinity War, who was a great villain. He really thought he was saving the universe by wiping out half of it, and thereby keeping the other half sustainable. And then you've got General Zod in Man of Steel, who was literally just trying to save his own people. Even Syndrome in the first Incredibles was a good villain. Now the villain in this movie just didn't really do it for me. The motivation was weak, the bait and switch they tried to pull off was really predictable, so I guess that was my biggest gripe of the movie. Apart from that, it was all pretty great. So that's why I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 pies. Thanks for watching. If you liked my movie review and you want to see more, make sure you hit subscribe and like and I'll try and get more of them coming to you. What did you think about the movie? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'll be back.